First of all, hi. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Marcus. I've been living in London for 2.5 years now. Moved here at the end of 2018 and pretty much spent half the time in Wimbledon and half the time in Kingston. And Sarah's been nice enough to visit a couple of times, particularly in 2019. And then eventually we got married in September 2019 in Gibraltar, because why the hell not? And thankfully we did, because obviously the world changed quite significantly since then.
Fortunately, we were able to get me a UK visa to stay, and it was because of COVID that I was actually able to get on with his visa as a partner and stay in the United Kingdom without having to travel back to the States. Normally, in normal times, I would have had to apply from the States and get approved from the States, and we would have been apart. And we spent, this is a backstory, maybe we'll go into another time, another story for later, kids. We spent a large portion of our relationship apart. So that was probably going to be very challenging to do that, especially during a global pandemic. So we're very thankful. It's, good to have some gratitude even during these rough times that we were able to just at least be together and kind of ride out this storm with each other. I feel like there's a huge backstory here that we're just missing. I'm from the United States. He's from Australia. We spent the pandemic living between Wimbledon and Kingston in the United Kingdom. So like Marcus was saying, I would go back and forth between the States and the United Kingdom visiting. And I did come to visit one more time before all the COVID stuff started to happen, and I ended up getting stuck here. Kingston's been great. We've really loved living in Kingston because of the proximity to the city center area and our ability to walk there. We don't have a car, so we're kind of, the whole pandemic, we were just bound by this small little geographic area where we could comfortably walk. So Kingston was a good choice for that reason. Also, some lovely wildlife. We befriended a squirrel here.
Multiple.
Well, yes, but they all have
similar.
One collective name called Doug. So there's probably like 75 squirrels, and we all just name them Doug. It's like there's Doug, and there's Doug, but it's only just one collective Doug. And many pretentious swans in the Thames, which in the winter we can actually see the Thames from the flat that we lived in here. So that's kind of neat.
We're about to move into the next chapter, hopefully, assuming everything goes smoothly. So I thought it would be a good idea to record this now and explain what our plans might be. And hopefully we come out the end and everything's gone completely smoothly, or it's gone to complete hell. And then we look back on this video and go, oh, wow, we were so young and innocent back then.
Look at how, free of stress their faces look, even after a year and a half of pandemic life.
So what from here? Well, the plan is to move back to Australia eventually. Koalas and
kangaroos
and all those exciting things.
Quokkas
that I've forgotten about because I haven't been there for quite a while. I think I've figured out that I've only spent 2 weeks in Australia in the last 3 years, which seems like not a lot compared to what I've been used to.
Especially for being an Australian.
Yes, and living there for the first 32 years of my life. Before we get to Australia, the plan is to head back to the States for a couple of months to visit my in-laws and Sarah's family. Again, for the first time in about a year and a half, I think, for you.
Yes.
And about 2 years for me. So neither of us have really seen our family. Well, I haven't seen my family since we got married. And Sarah's only spent a month or so with hers since 2019. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's been a long time. Lots of Skype and Messenger calls and that with our family. So been trying to keep in touch that way. But obviously that doesn't really substitute seeing people in person, obviously. And it hardly feels like we've spent any time with anyone in person over the past year or so, apart from a few friends that we've gathered around here, which has been nice. At the moment, the States is on what's called the amber list for travel.
Oh, are they?
Yes, they are.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
so long story short, I can travel there. The US will let me in because I'm married to Sarah. And fingers crossed, all we have to do is prove at our end here at Heathrow when I leave that we are indeed married. And hopefully that a wedding certificate is going to be sufficient enough to let me get out of the country. It's going to be a very strange feeling going back to Heathrow. Obviously, we're quite used to flying around the world, various
We were.
places. Yeah, we were.
I feel like that was a past life almost. I don't know. I don't even know. We went on some little just car trips this past year, just around the area, and we went to Scotland at the end of last year before lockdown again, and just going on a car trip, I was forgetting stuff, and I didn't know what to pack anymore. I forgot how to travel, and it's crazy compared to what we used to be like, where it was basically just it was comforting. It was home for us to be living out of a backpack and just traveling around and. So yeah, we'll see what we have left in us after this experience.
So yeah, once we're on the plane, and hopefully we'll be able to relax a little bit. But once we land in the States, then obviously I'll have to go through customs passport check again. And we're a little bit unsure about what questions I'll be asked or how strict they're going to be on letting me in. Hopefully I'm let in the country. So I've gathered a whole bunch of evidence to show that the intention is to ultimately move to Australia after arriving in the US, and I'm not just going to freeload on the US and their wonderful healthcare system and all the benefits that offers, that great land of opportunity offers to illegal aliens like me. Yeah, so hopefully that all goes well. The plan is to go and hang in a hotel for a little bit in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Mm-hmm. For a couple of days, and then we're going to a caravan / camper van / whatever it is.
It's going to be the best quarantine anyone has ever seen. One thing that's really important to us is like we've seen firsthand what COVID can do to an otherwise healthy and otherwise relatively young person.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. Yeah. Compliments for you today. And it's just not something we take lightly anymore or ever did. So yeah, so I definitely want to feel 100% secure, even though we both we've been double jabbed, as they say here. As of Friday, we hit our 2-week mark after our second jab. So it's really nice to be fully it's just peace of mind to be fully vaccinated, getting on this flight and traveling internationally right now. So.
And then basically that meant that we can just pack up and leave from this place and head straight to the airport, and we're all good. All vaccinated and all hopefully fully protected.
Yes. And hopefully actually get on the plane.
Yeah.
And everything is good. So. Gusto we have left.
Gusto.
Gusto? A prostate exam.
Yes.
We're gonna go get the last Sunday
last
roast. We had COVID, by the way.
we
can go into that story.
Have a champagne.
Ooh, a champagne.
Champagne.
Champagne. I don't eat meat. Like and subscribe.